story is called The Lady in the Box by Ann McGovern, and it's illustrated by Marni Backer. It's a winter story. It's kind of a Christmas story. You can tell there's wreaths on the picture. And it's a city story. It actually happens in New York City, but I think this story could happen in many cities in Canada as well, in our big cities. The Lady in the Box. The Lady in the Box. There was a lady who slept in a box down our street. Before dark, she sat in her box in front of the Circle Deli. She just sat and stared. When the city got black, she curled up in her box. I think she slept in the box all night. She must have liked the Circle Deli because of the warm air from the basement that came through the grate. The warm air kept her from freezing. I never saw her in the morning. My sister Lizzie didn't either. She probably folded up her box and put it somewhere, safe till nighttime. We could have kept it for her in our house, but Lizzie and I aren't supposed to talk to strangers, so we didn't offer. She looked like a kind, nice lady. I smiled at her, and just yesterday, I thought she smiled back. Maybe she didn't. Maybe I just wished she had. The lady in the box looked hungry. It was Lizzie's idea to bring her food. I reminded Lizzie that we can't talk to strangers, and Lizzie said we wouldn't talk to her. We would just put some crackers and peanut butter next to her box. The first time we forgot the knife for putting peanut butter on the crackers, but she managed somehow because the next day the peanut butter jar was empty. I thought she should eat food that was good for her, so I brought her 2 raw carrots, a bunch of celery, and an apple. Lizzie said the lady in the box didn't have many teeth. Not enough for chewing hard food. There were a couple of cans of soup in our kitchen cabinet. Cream of celery, vegetable noodle, soft and mushy soups. Just right for someone without teeth. Lizzie thought vegetable noodle was better, but I thought celery. We had a fight about it. Lizzie won. We heated up the vegetable noodle soup and ran down the stairs fast to get it to her before the soup got cold, and then we ran home before Mama could tell that we were up to something again. Mama says we're always up to something. The store windows were all Christmassy. It got dark early, and the nights were very cold. The lady in the box didn't have enough warm clothes. We looked in our closets. On Lizzie's shelf was a big warm scarf with bright red flowers. Lizzie said she didn't like the scarf. It was so itchy. I wasn't so sure the lady in the box would like it either, but it was better than the cold wind blowing on her neck. We left it outside her box. Later, we saw the scarf wrapped around her neck. Maybe she likes red flowers. She called after us. "My name is Dory, thanks." "My name is Lizzie, and this is my brother Ben, and you're welcome." I was worrying about Mama's rule about speaking to strangers. "But now that we know her name, she's not exactly a stranger," I said to Lizzie. Lizzie nodded. The next day it was freezing cold. The owner of the Circle Deli came out of his store. "Get away from here," he shouted at Dory. "I don't want you sitting in front of my store anymore. People have been complaining." Dory had to move. She set up her box in front of an empty store down the street, but no warm air was coming up from the basement there, and she began to shiver, and her lips looked sort of blue. Lizzie said it was about 10 degrees above zero. "We have to do something," Lizzie said, "or she will freeze to death. We could bring her some of our blankets." "That's dumb. Mama would know for sure." We were quiet as we climbed the 2 flights of stairs to our apartment. I figured Lizzie was thinking the same thing I was thinking. Telling Mama or not telling Mama? But when we got home, it was Mama who told us a thing or two. It's not easy to fool Mama. Why were cans of soup missing? She wanted to know. And why was the flowered scarf gone? She asked what we were up to, and we decided to tell her. Maybe if she met the lady in the box, she would know how to help her better. So we told Mama about her and how we gave her food, and starting with the peanut butter and the crackers, and how she had to move her box away from the Circle Deli, and that her name was Dory, and that she was freezing cold. Mama didn't get mad and yell at us. Instead, she sighed and she said, "Okay, let's see your lady in the box." The 3 of us went downstairs and around the corner. Mama knocked on the box. "Come on out," she said, in her no-nonsense tone of voice. "I want to meet you." Dory opened the top flap of the box and sat up. Mama has this amazing way of making people talk to her. Dory started to talk to us. She told us about losing her job and not being able to pay her rent, so she had to leave her apartment, And she said she's tried to stay in a shelter for homeless women, but someone always stole her bag of clothes while she was sleeping, and after that, she just slept in a box on the street. Mama got that look on her face. It was her, I am going to do something about this look. She marched to the Circle Deli. We had to run to catch up. When she saw the owner, Mama began to give it to him. She said that Christmas was coming soon, and it was freezing cold outside, and she used words like human kindness and simple charity, until he said, okay, she can stay. We told Dory she could move her box back to the Circle Deli where it was warm. She smiled a big smile. We climbed up to our apartment, but all I could think about was helping Dory. But how? When Mama came in to kiss me goodnight, I told her I wanted to help Dory more, but I didn't know how to do it. Mama said she'd think of something. Go to sleep now, honey. When Saturday came, Mama asked if we wanted to help in the neighborhood soup kitchen. Homeless people get free lunches there, she said. The soup kitchen was in a church basement. The line to get in was long. I felt sad, but there were so many people needing free soup. My job was to put a piece of bread and a pat of butter on a paper plate. Lizzie's job was to hand the plate to people in the lineup, and Mama's job was dishing out cup after cup after cup of soup. I was so busy doing my job, I almost didn't hear my name being called. I looked up to see Dory in line. She smiled at me. Hello, Ben, she said quietly. Hi, Dory, I said, smiling back. Who's your friend? The helper next to me asked. Friend? Nobody ever called Dory my friend before. It sounded so nice. Maybe someday, I thought, Dory wouldn't have to live in her box. Maybe she would get a job in a place of her own. She'd have a key, just like I have a key to our apartment. I reached into my pocket and took out my lucky key ring. It had a plastic floor-leaf clover on it. I took off my key and I gave my new friend Dory the key ring with the 4-leaf clover. Maybe it would bring her some luck. Maybe someday she could use it for her very own key. And that is the story about the lady in the box.